literally gone to school in the middle of the city. So you learn certain things, and I think that's what taught me resilience.
I was well set in terms of when I was announced as a headmaster, in not having to take a seat back and sort of see how things are playing out. I could hit the ground running in terms of what we were required. We always saw 2023 as being not an end goal. It was really a checkpoint along the way. So I was head boy in 1998 at the school, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time at Parktown. I was fully involved in a number of activities and various aspects of the school. As I went through that year, I started understanding the impact that can be made in terms of having a vision and having something to work towards. Linked to that are key aspects that revolve around student and staff enhancement and wellness. Are key initiatives that we have at the school. And probably the biggest one is the modernization of our environment. So in the classrooms, we've got this beautiful facade at the outside of the school, very traditional. It really speaks to the 100-year history of the school. And I felt that the classrooms hadn't progressed as much as what they should have over the last few decades. And I think there was a real need to create an inspiring space for the boys to really delve into the new challenges that exist, plus the ones that I would have had in the 90s. So, and linked with that is a real focus on broadening the community and buy-in from the community, from our alumni to our parents, to friends of Parktown, our extended community, bringing them back into the fold. It's also realizing any sort of sustainable future for the school involves all those stakeholders.
I had quite a few mentors over the years, quite a few people I've looked up to, being old head boys, old SEC members, and all the time I just keep learning from all the conversations I have, and that's something that's become so important to me. Just keep having conversations. The more conversations you have, the more you learn. So I often had conversations this year with head boy, deputy. I played first team hockey with the deputy head boy this year, so had quite a close relationship with him. The head of hostel was a big mentor as well to me and actually my deputy head boy, David. And obviously we all play massive roles in, like you said, the next 100 years. So does the average Parktown boy, the grade 8 that's coming into the school, but it's just magnified when you're in such a position. I encourage everyone to really get involved and really take part in as many things as possible. Just make an impact everywhere you go. Because when you leave this place, the only thing you can leave is a legacy. No one's gonna hear your voice anymore, all that stuff. People can only think about you. So leave an impact on people's minds now as you speak, because that's the only time you've got right now, that's all.
Boys that got their 8 distinctions and 7 distinctions and are able to now go to pretty much any university that they want in the country and in the world. We've currently got alumni at Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge and Stanford University. And last year one of our boys got finalised for the Oxford Rhodes Scholarship through Rhodes. So we're hoping that that's going to go through quite nicely there as well. In terms of the educators, we're obviously quite proud of the fact that we've had doctors on our staff. We've got a Doctor of Mathematics. In 2023 we had a Doctor of Engineering, and the Engineering Graphics and Design department won the best in the district. Our maths department actually writes the textbooks that we use for the school, and it gave quite a nice base for our boys in 2024. We had 19 boys in this year, 2024, that achieved full colours for academics, which is an 80% average minimum for all of their subjects, which is quite phenomenal, considering that that's probably about 5-6% of your grade all wearing those red blazers for the academic performance.
Parktown is a key school within the SA educational framework, along with schools like JP Care's Pretoria Boys. I mean, we firmly believe that those schools will produce the leaders of the future. That does need funding from the alumni and the broader community. So we target old boys, whether it's the monthly debit order, which is building, or high net worth through donations and bequests. And then second of all, we do target corporates as well, because again, it's important to a school like Parktown survives in broader SA society. Corporates see that and they see the return on investment of supporting a school like Parktown. But our intention is to build an endowment of sufficient scale that the school will be self-sustaining into perpetuity. And this year we've really got busy on certain activities and events. So we've hosted 2 Parktown Business Network events, principally focused on their business networks, mentorship, employing old boys into their businesses, and just showcasing their businesses and what they do on a local and global scale. So those have been big successes. And obviously the international jurisdictions, you know, when the pound's 23 to 1 or the dollar's 18 or 19 to 1, you know, raising money there can just make a massive difference locally. So that for sure is an objective of ours, and we've seen the success of other schools having done that. Some of the private schools are further ahead, but then our peer schools have also done it to great success and have dedicated programs where they target the international community. I think part of that though is, so what's in it for the international community to support us, right? One is, I think, if there's any semblance of that SA should survive, that's important and they can support that, right? 2 is it is their legacy. And a lot of the people that we're engaging with finished 3, 4, 5 decades ago. Some of them haven't been back, but they've got great fondness for Parktown and what Parktown allowed them and basically changed their lives, right? The 5 years here, they write to us with great fondness about the teachers they had, the guys they were with, they remember them, etc. So I think for their legacy and even for their children, knowing that their fathers went to such a great school, and it still is a great school within the SA context and globally, it's important that that support is there. But even if the fundraising support is not there, it's important for us that we just drive out this network and the alumni are communicating, they're engaged, and that's ultimately what we want, an engaged, interested alumni.
So what they want to achieve, it's just general improvements. So academics, they want to get focused on more the STEAM subjects, so science, your maths, your technology. They want to upgrade the classrooms. But what I feel hasn't been touched is that we actually have an effect on it. So right now, we can leave people who are going to be in charge and who want to achieve this goal of Parktown 2027. It's a vision that has to be taken up by the whole school. And then once we leave, everyone assumes once you leave high school, you're pretty much done with it. But a key part in especially boys' schools is the old boys. So even though we've left now, and we'll only be in university by then, so we can't really do as much as I would like to, but we still play a massive role in Parktown 2027, whether that be funding, taking under your wing a Parktown boy, mentoring, or just volunteering and helping the school in ways that you can. So I think in that Parktown 2027, we can, as a grade leaving the school, we can also act as a force, a good force for the school. That's ultimately the most prominent example of an advantage of a boys' school, is your old boys association. Once you leave Parktown, you don't leave Parktown. It's with you for life.
I think coming at the back of 2023, where we celebrated our centenary, it was a really, in one way, it was such a peak of looking at Parktown's past and all the achievements. I remember seeing over 5,000 people in here, and a lot of them old boys that have come through this fine institution. And it fills you with pride. It also fills with a great sense of responsibility, that we have to carry on with this legacy. It's such a fine place. The caliber of gentlemen that have come out of this place are the people that are changing the world. They're the ones that are becoming the brothers, the fathers, the partners, the uncles that the world needs right now. So there was that, how do you carry on a challenge, a calling of, how do you carry on this legacy that's been set? Yes, there were moments in that in that time where sometimes things went wrong, other times, but overall, Parktown's got a fantastic 100-year history that was placed upon us to be the custodians of that, but also to look ahead and say, how do we even propel from that board that we've been set up? One of the things we've had to do was call the parents back to school and say, hey parents, please come back to school. Come and see your boys. come and stand while your boy is on the turf. And what it does for your boy and the rest of the other boys that are watching is far beyond, what you could imagine. It goes a long way. So that was the first thing. We want to see more parents supporting stands, cheering for our boys. What it also does, it gets the parents more interested about what their boys are actually doing, right? And it gets you to contribute in other ways that you wouldn't have otherwise have done.
I think the school taught me when I was here, it taught me a certain level of resilience. Because of it being a government school and you're not having the network that private schools have, you learn a certain form of resilience, if I may even call it street knowledge, because we've literally gone to school in the middle of the city, so you learn certain things, and I think that's what taught me resilience.